A lot of athletes these days think they're above the law.
You're out of order! You're out of order! The whole trial is out of order!
Let's get an inside look at the legal side of sports.
That's right. Let's welcome in our new legal sports expert. He is Rick Calzada, one of the partners in My Law Solution over in Winter Park. Whether you're fighting the bank to save your home from foreclosure, a defendant in a criminal matter like DUI, or in need of bankruptcy to protect your assets, My Law Solution does it all. Give them a call at 407-843-2222 or online at mylawsolution.com. Rick, of course, is a Florida State grad. Are you fired up for the season opener, Rick?
Not the opener.
No.
It's Texas State. Come on. I'm just glad it's on TV.
You said something. You said, does it feel like the college football opening week?
I don't feel the energy yet.
It's because these Humpty games at the beginning of the season. I hate them.
Although the last Saturday game was pretty good. The Montana game.
Oh, the North Dakota State-Montana game?
It was a good show.
Yeah, that was exciting. All right, Rick, you've been excellent at predicting the outcome of legal cases. You predicted Dalvin Cook would be an open and shut case, and it was. You predicted the woman who was raped by the Baylor football player would file a civil suit, and she did. Deflategate, the judge is supposed to rule maybe today, maybe tomorrow. How do you think the judge is going to rule in Deflategate?
I honestly don't know. I do know this. Tom Brady will play in the first game, no matter what, because whatever the ruling is, it will be appealed. So they'll get an injunction while the appeal is correct. Yeah, okay. They'll kind of just hold everyone in place, make sure he plays, give him his paychecks, but he's going to play in the first game. What's interesting to me is if the judge rules in favor of the NFL, okay, he will appeal. If he rules in favor of Brady, NFL will appeal. So he's going to play no matter what. Ah. Okay, again, you're the lawyer. I'm just an amateur lawyer here. And the judge's job, I guess, in this case is to uphold the law. He's not to, make a law. It's to uphold the law, all right? Or in this case, a bylaw, the NFL bylaws. The NFL bylaws say that Roger Goodell has full power to essentially do whatever he wants in these discipline cases. So wouldn't the judge say, if you have a problem, you can take it up during the next collective bargaining agreement? Under the present law and the collective bargaining agreement, the judge must give deference to Goodell as the arbitrator. Must do that unless he finds that he was somehow partial against Brady in this case, or the fairness of the process is at issue. And that's the question here. The judge will either uphold the ruling or vacate it, which means it goes back to the NFL, goes back to Goodell to have another hearing and reimpose another sentence. So, it's not going to go away this week. If it goes in Brady's favor, it's going to fall back in Goodell's lap, and they'll have maybe a more fair hearing where there is notice now to Tom Brady that you could be suspended for the actions. He'll get access to the full unredacted Wells report, confront witnesses. So it's not going to go away no matter what happens this week. So you think the judge can he's not going to say reduce it to 2 games. He'll either say he'll either throw it out and say no good, or he'll say suspension upheld. The judge has no power to reduce the sentence. It's either uphold or vacate. And if it vacates, it goes back to the NFL to have another hearing, which is more fair. Wow. I know. It's not going to go. That's why I cannot believe they couldn't get an agreement, because it just keeps drip, 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 drip. In one sense, the NFL must want this to continue. The soap opera on TV. You think? News. What else could it be? I have no idea. All right. Speaking of the NFL, former University of Florida football player Ray McDonald, former San Francisco 49ers defensive tackle, has been indicted by a grand jury on suspicion of raping an intoxicated woman. Separately, his 49ers teammate Ahmad Brooks was charged last week with a lower charge of sexually battering the same woman. Now, they say that Ahmad Brooks groped the woman essentially while she was drunk and unconscious, whereas Ray McDonald actually raped the woman. I've read a little bit about this case. It seems to me like this case is going to be hard to prove. If the woman's unconscious, first of all, how's she going to prove that Ahmaud Brooks groped her?
Well, what I read from the story was that after the fact, she confronted them and they told her they had these acts with her. And so that's the only basis that she has to say that this occurred. She obviously knew something had happened, and she asked, and they said, yeah, we had consensual sex, which turns to the question, how can we have consensual sex if I'm passed out? And that's the issue. The problem for McDonald is that his friend who's there really can't testify on his behalf because he could possibly incriminate himself on his criminal charge. So it was smart for the prosecution to charge both individuals because they can't help each other out to testify on behalf of the defense.
So, okay, she says that they told her. Won't they just deny that in court?
Well, then the jury's going to have to decide who's telling the truth. And you've got a woman who says she's violated, and you've got two individuals who are probably not going to take the stand, and the court's going to have to determine who's telling the truth. That's what a jury does.
Wow. That's a tough case, isn't it?
For everybody involved. No doubt about it.
Wow. I don't understand the whole unconscious. I'm not even going to get into it.
Don't even try.
No. Last thing, speaking of sexual assault, the Baylor player that was convicted of sexual assault 10 days ago, I believe it was now. I wanted to ask you this last week, but didn't get a chance to. He got 6 months in jail for a convicted rape. Doesn't that seem light?
I don't know how that in and of itself is not the lead of the story. So you've got someone that goes to trial. And typically when you go to trial and you're found guilty at trial, the judge hammers you. 6 months on a rape charge, followed by 10 years probation, so you know he's found guilty of a felony. Why the 10 years probation only with 6 months jail time? It doesn't make any sense at all. So he's not even going to prison. He's going to do 6 months in the county jail, most likely. It doesn't make any sense at all. It's a slap in the face of the victim. I don't know why women's groups aren't out there right now picketing that judge to find out why. There's recourse for this.
Yeah, you're right. That should have been the lead to the story.
It's disgusting.
Instead, it was people just sort of
an afterthought.
Yeah,
it's just like a footnote at the end of the story.
What's a traditional sentence for rape?
Multiple years. I mean, it's a high-level felony in any state. So you would think years, followed by many years of probation.
Wow. Rick Calzada, one of the best in the business. You can check him out at My Law Solution, mylawsolution.com. Give him a call, 407. Where is it? 407-843-2222. 407-843-2222. Rick joins us every Wednesday around 7:30. If you have any legal questions, you can hit us up at 740thegame.com. Rick, we always appreciate your time.
Thank you, Mike.
Appreciate your time.